fans by the fans. CP in the building. Ashley Moss, J. Ellis in the building as well. You know what, guys? Some nights you're going to have it going. And some nights it's going to be an utter disaster. And tonight was the latter, man. Knicks going to Orlando, looking for number 4 in a row against an undermanned Magic team. No Cole Anthony, no Aaron Gordon. Obviously, no Markelle Fultz. A severely depleted Magic team that just came back from a West Coast trip. Julius brought his A game, 25.7 boards, but the Knicks defense did not, and it was just a comedy of errors down the stretch. Knicks just could not mount any offense. 33 points in total in the second half. A 12 for 48 shooting night. No help from the second unit. And That's all she wrote, man. 107 to 89. Knicks go down in a blaze in Orlando. JL, give me some thoughts on this game, man.
Oh, man. It was the second unit, dog. The second unit is the unit that's been doing it for us since Derrick Rose has come here. But you're looking at, Rose and Quickly in particular. They both of them, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, to be honest. Emmanuel Quickly 1 for 12. Derrick Rose 1 for 10. Especially in that second quarter, I feel like Rose was pressing. He was trying to do a lot of one-on-one.
He was doing too much.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of one-on-one. He got blocked. I feel like he got blocked 3 or 4 consecutive times in that second quarter. And the lead that Julius Randle in that first unit evaporated, dissipated. And it kept up in the third quarter as well. It just seems like we just couldn't put the ball in the basket. Third quarter of doom. It keeps repeating itself. The third quarter just seems to be a weakness for this Knicks team, and we have to kind of fix that. And the fourth quarter was just too late. It was weird. There was no RJ. There was no one who was playing well. Didn't really see the end of the game. I guess the coach felt like he needed to get more shooters out there, natural shooters, to try to get back in this game, and they backfired.
Ashley, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, this game was kind of a disaster in so many different areas. I mean, in the first half, yes, we were able to maintain a lead going into halftime. But if you really look at, the logistics of the game, the Magic are not a good shooting team, especially being depleted like they were in this game. We were allowing them to get too many open shots. We were allowing them to kind of stay in the game, get cooking, even with the few guys that they did have on the floor. And then in the second half, we really just gave them as much space as possible to get comfortable. We weren't contesting shots. They had wide open threes. Their threes were falling. Ours were not. We had a lot of defensive issues. It was Swiss cheese out there. And again, as I always say, if your offense isn't clicking, your defense is your best offense. The defense was non-existent today. And I mean, the depth on the team tonight was just terrible. I mean, by the fourth, the bench was like 3 and 19. They were absolutely useless today. It was just a lot of mistakes. Shooting was down 41% at one point. It was just too many mistakes, too many errors in a game that we should have clearly had. We were the more complete team. I think we were the better team going into this game. We're coming off of a run. And again, the Magic were depleted. They were empty. So these are the games you're supposed to win, and the Knicks just did not get the job done today.
Yeah, let down game indeed. You're right, man. Let down game in so many ways. And from a defensive standpoint, you look at the stat sheet. Gary Clark, Dwayne Bacon for the Magic, 6 of 10 from downtown. They scored 25 points in all. Terrence Ross, man, Nick Killer.
He hates us, man.
Terrence Ross, Nick Killer.
Yeah.
Every time.
30 points,
Jeez.
6 rebounds, 5 of 6 from downtown. Terrence Ross was absolutely cooking us, and there was just nothing we could do there, man. When Terrence Ross is on his game, he's one of those guys where when you see him getting it going early, you know it's going to be a long night, man. 10 of 16 from the field completely for Terrence Ross. Magic are dead last in the league in effective field goal percentage. They go 16 of 34 from downtown, 47% from downtown. 47% from downtown. Knicks, conversely, remember the other night when Julius was cooking, Knicks also dropped 17 of 34 from downtown. Conversely, tonight, 7 of 27, only 25% from three-point line. It's a make-or-miss league, man. So, those things kind of turn the tides on the Knicks for sure. I thought, as JL said, Rose quickly ineffective tonight. Rose forcing the issue was not good. Quickly as well was not good. I thought Burks, although he went 2 for 6 from downtown, 3 and 9 from field, I don't think he was, in any way, shape, or form spectacular. Bullock did not really give us much either. And so, those things hurt. I think we missed Mitch tonight. I think we
Yeah.
definitely
for
missed
sure.
Mitch tonight. Vucevic is a tough matchup, even for him. But for Noel and for Taj, I didn't think they did a good job protecting the paint. They didn't do a good job protecting the rim. And the Magic got 10 offensive rebounds. 10 offensive rebounds for the Magic tonight. And those second chance opportunities, the ball just bouncing their way, certainly hurt us. That definitely hurt us out there. So just one of those nights, man. Just a lot of issues for the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, I definitely felt like we were steps slow on the defensive end. We were trying to scramble. We were a step slow on the scramble, leaving the open threes, a steps, and then I think that led to some of those open threes on the offensive rebounds that we saw today, and even some like those weird transition buckets where the Knicks weren't really getting back, and the Magic took advantage of that as well. So I don't know. It just seemed like it's weird. I did feel like we played hard though. I don't.
Yeah.
It looked like we played like it looked like
Yeah.
we played hard, but it was like something missing, man. I don't know if it was attention to detail on the rotations.
The shots was missing.
You know
Well,
what?
besides the shots, yes.
That's a good point. We did play hard, but sometimes, it's not playing harder, it's playing smarter. And we didn't play smarter. We just played harder and we worked harder than the other team did, but we just didn't get the same results. And like I said, it was so many different things that went wrong. But the thing that you're supposed to always be able to play and always be able to execute is your defense, because that would have been the difference maker going into the second half. That would have been the difference maker of keeping us in this game. And because we didn't play any defense and our offense was just very stagnant, especially in that third and fourth quarter, we kind of let this game get away from us. And that was the difference in the first half and the second half. Yes, in the first half, I think we gave up too many points, 63 points. You're not playing defense, but your shots were falling. So you didn't feel it as much. You were getting the shots up. But you kind of take that same energy into the second half, and now your shots aren't falling and they're not getting off. And now you're really starting to feel the consequences because now the Magic is starting to cook a little bit and you're not doing anything to stop them. So it was just problematic, on both ends of the ball, but mostly in that second half. And that's what ultimately was the dagger.
Absolutely. Hit the nail right on the head. And 16 turnovers for the Knicks led to 29 Magic points. 29 Magic points, man. You just got to take care of the ball. Very careless of the Knicks. There was another interesting spot in this game where, again, Tibbs's rotations come into question, especially during a loss. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But Payton, as much as we want to, take him down as it's warranted sometimes, Payton had it going. He was aggressive. He was attacking. And he was getting into the teeth of that defense. He and RJ had a great third quarter. They had a good third quarter where, you figured they were building some momentum going into the fourth. And you saw neither one of them, at least RJ, you didn't see until 3 minutes left into the fourth. Payton, I don't recall if he ended up finishing that game at all. But, the interesting thing, again, about these rotations is that this was a similar issue with Tibbs during the first Miami Heat game where RJ didn't play the fourth quarter at all. And they asked him same question that day as they did tonight, and they said, what happened to RJ? And Tibbs' answer was, we're searching. And I just think when they're down that much, what he's really saying is we need shooting out there.
That's what he's saying.
But he doesn't want to say that during the press conference. It's the second time now he's like, oh, we're just searching. But when you see the lineups that he has out there, he leaves Burks out there despite his terrible play. IQ's out there, Bullock gets out there. He's looking for shooting at that moment in time.
Yeah, it's the reputation of shooting at that point. It's not, whether you shot well this game. It's whether your reputation before this game is you're a shooter, because he sees that, we're down. And he wants to give Randle as much space as possible on the floor at the end of games. And, when it gets to those late games, you see Julius had like 5 turnovers, right? Yeah. When it comes to those late games, when Julius has 5 turnovers or 3 turnovers, 4 turnovers, and they're doubling up, he wants to make sure he has the space to actually make a move. And so that's what he's making these decisions. Like even the game before this, Elfrid Payton was having a good game. He didn't see the court rest of the game the last game, but we ended up pulling that game out. So we were rewarded for playing that same move the game before. So he figures he can do it again this game. But this game didn't work.
It didn't work. Did not work. So, I was surprised, man, because and another reason I was surprised, even though, yes, you wanted the spacing and you wanted the shooters out there, in this type of game, a physical type of game, what I noticed from those lineups that were out there was they weren't getting to the line. They were not attacking. IQ was, yes. But the rest of those guys like D-Rose, Burks, those guys were not getting into the line. The Magic do not have any type of ferocious interior defense where you couldn't, not get to the line and stop the clock. That's why I wanted RJ out there.
I do feel like Derrick Rose was attacking. He just wasn't getting the fouls.
Right.
And he was getting blocked. I feel like Derrick Rose had like two blocks. I saw Obama had a few blocks.
Yeah.
IQ, I felt like IQ was getting fouled, but he wasn't getting the calls. It just seemed like I feel like we were being aggressive, but we just weren't being really rewarded for our aggression. So I don't know. It's just one of those games where you're right. Just maybe someone who could finish through the whistles without a whistle. They might have been the time to use him. Hindsight's 2020. We'll see. I know Tibbs will play RJ when he's on the hot streak from 3. I know that.
Yeah.
I also wasn't a fan, especially in the second half. The first half I didn't have an issue with it just because they were falling. I wasn't a big fan of the shot selection that some of the guys were taking when they were on the floor. I think they were trying to play that long range game. I think they were trying to make threes happen that just were not going to fall. I think they were obviously trying to keep up with the Magic. And then as the score continued to get larger and larger, you go into panic mode and you think you need those big shots and you think you need, those 3-pointers to kind of stay in the game. But ultimately you live by the 3, you die by the 3. And I think that had the Knicks played a little bit more aggressive basketball, forcing the Magic to foul like CP was talking about, trying to get those layups, even settling for mid-range shots, I think the game ultimately wouldn't have been drastically as different. And I think also you probably would have had a chance to win it and pull it out because, again, the Magic were depleted. Their stars, for the most part, were not on that court. So you should have been able, even with the deficit, you should have been able to go ahead and kind of chip away at it. But they were trying to go ahead and play the same game the Magic were playing, except the Magic shots were actually falling. So it was just a disaster in the second half.
True story, man. True story. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it was the type of threes they were getting, man. Like usually you want to get the threes off of a drive and a kick or a pick or a curl play or something like that. These threes are more of like pass the ball, one dribble, fade away 3 with no ball movement, no flow whatsoever. So it was really live and die by 3. Like even like the 2 shots that Burke hit, they went in thankfully, but they weren't like in rhythm of the offense. So the type of threes we were getting in that fourth quarter were more desperation than offensive sets.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hero ball in its truest form. 16 dimes tonight for the Knicks compared to 27 for the Magic. Magic were just moving the ball a lot better than the Knicks. Like Ashley said, a lot of hero ball in that fourth quarter, third quarter as well. Ball just wasn't moving. And just one of those nights, man. Absolutely.
And I actually was not a fan in the second half of the spacing at all. I think it was just not. I think the Magic were getting a much smoother transition in ball movement than we are. I don't know. I just was not feeling that spacing. I wasn't feeling the ball movement. At some points, it kind of looked like the old school LeBron James Cavs offense where it's like one person has the ball in their hand and nobody else is moving their feet. So if that first opportunity is not there, the ball goes back to the other side of the court. I just was not a fan of it at all. I don't know what happened to the ball movement that Tibbs, preaches in practices, but it was not there. And that is a major issue in any game.
Yeah, well, you know what? They got a lot of time to think about it and practice. The Spurs game is canceled. The next game is not until Sunday against the Timberwolves. So they got some time to rest, got some time to practice as well and get the kinks out and hopefully build some more chemistry, especially with D Rose and those guys. On the plus side, Julius was in his bag once again, man. 25 points, 7 boards for Julius. Julius brought his game from the Atlanta game to Orlando, ready to win. Efficient night, 11 from 19, 3 of 7 from downtown, but he had no help tonight. Nobody was there to help Julius tonight, man. So, good effort still. Good effort by Julius, man.
Yeah, it's a shame because I thought he was going to go for 50 tonight.
He was ready to go. Julius was ready to go.
Smiling, and I was like, ooh, to have another bar.
To go down.
He was doing the head shake, like, this is about to get.
Step backs was going down, like everything, man.
My man needed help.
Yeah.
Help him, man.
Julius was cooking, man. But you know, it is what it is, man. Can't win them all, and Knicks go down in Orlando in a clunker. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP Ashley Moss, J. Ellis in here. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new. We'll shout you guys out. And, yeah, we're going to get to the phones, man. Let's hear what the people have to say tonight. Let's start off with, who are we starting off with? Papa Left in the building. Papa Left, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, guys. Yeah, wherever the silver lining for tonight is, I don't think it's anything we can see. It's more going to be for Tibbs and the players to see when they look at that film. Because honestly, in the first half, I thought that our effort was there. I thought Taj and Noel held up pretty well against Vukovic. I thought we closed out. They hit some tough threes, and the Magic, they're 6 and 17, but they also have Steve Clifford. They also played undermanned against the Bucks. They have a little bit of a program of how they play when they're undermanned, and they executed their game plan. They're just not that good, but they know how to create a little game plan and make it difficult for us. So I felt like in the second half, our wings, our ball handlers, they got up into their space. I felt guys tried to, like you said, play hero ball, go one-on-one. And then when the score got out of hand, that's when it just all started tumbling down.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating to see us, I just don't want to see Alec Burks, who gets paid $5 million a year, take us home, Alec. You hit 2 3. All right, so you hit 2 threes, but we're not about to just feature you for the rest of the game. That shouldn't happen. Guys just got to step up a little bit more. I saw D Rose quickly tried, Randle tried, but honestly, they were just getting caught underneath the rim. They were all flat-footed. Guys weren't cutting. Obviously, you said we miss Mitchell. He's not the best at finishing down low, but he offers that finish that Taj and Noel just don't have. As far as just a rotational thing that I want to say before I go, I meant to say this the other night, but RJ plays between really bad spacing guards and a center when he starts. He plays between Payton, Reggie, which Reggie is good, but he's very limited. So, you can just hold him down. And then Noel is pretty much not an offensive threat. No one's really worried about him. So RJ kind of gets caught in these starts where it's like, oh, RJ's not having a good game, or RJ's struggling, or this first unit is struggling, and he kind of takes the blame for it. But if you looked at the end of the game, last game, or 2 games ago, when we finished with that unit of RJ, Quickly, D Rose, Randle, and Noel, you see, he's just a different player when the pace is, a little bit more up-tempo, and he's the third best shooter on the floor, and it's not a problem that he's the third best shooter on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just he gets caught up in that first unit, and I feel like this is a trend now where that first unit isn't bringing it, and we're looking for a spark for the second unit. And, usually it's come from the second unit, and that's why RJ hasn't been there. But tonight it didn't come, and RJ kind of just is on the bench. And he's, last night they had Zion versus John Morant, and I'll say this all the time. RJ doesn't have to be Zion or John Morant. He just has to be RJ. But, he's our first-round pick last year. He's the 3rd pick overall. We're not saying that he's our franchise player, but we need him on the floor against the Magic. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Appreciate the call, man. And then, at those moments, you look for them to maybe stagger those lineups a little bit. But that's what I was saying. When Burks is in there yucking it up, take him out, put RJ in there with Quickly, Rose, you know what I mean? Get Julius in there and see what you can do.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like I said, he's going off reputation. Burks is a shooter. I'm putting Burks in. Sometimes he needs to believe his eyes too, Yeah. RJ's having a good game. He's having a good game today.
He had a hot third.
Right now he's having a good game. Leave RJ in with these guys and see what happens.
See what happens,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And like I said, at the very least, you could have him in there using his strength, bully ball into the paint, see if he could stop the clock. and quell some of that momentum, cool off the Magic a little bit. Knicks were able to cut it to 10 with 6 minutes left. They had one more run in them. Burks hit a 3. They cut it to 11, went into the timeout. One of the Magic had a technical foul. They hit the free throw, cut it to 10. And within 2 seconds, Terrence Ross hits a 2. Then he finds Fournier for 3, and they back down 15. And that was pretty much the game.
Yeah. Ross shot making is ridiculous, dog.
Yo.
That
He
two
always
even
kills
hit.
the Knicks, bro.
After that, I was like, how did you even hit some running one-hander with Noel draped over you? And he did some kind of weird push shot, like it was a shot put.
Terrence Ross,
like,
man.
What? He hates. I don't know what it is when he sees our uniform, though.
Remember, he had a 50-piece a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, he's no joke.
Yeah, that's a fact. And as Han Solo said on the MSG telecast, a win in this game could have put us tied for 4th.
I don't even want to hear that.
Been tied for 4th.
Sick right now, man.
Just goes to show you how tight things are in the East, man. Could have been tied for 4th in the playoff race. So lost opportunity, man. Lost opportunity.
Not even just how tight it is, but just how wide open it is.
Yeah.
I mean, East really is anybody's conference to take. It's really anybody's. The seeding is really just up for the taking. It's not like the West where you of already know what that playoff picture is going to look like, at least for certain teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the East is wide open. And like the Knicks
4 to 8.
are very much, the Knicks are very
4
much,
to like 12.
and the Knicks are very much in the running to be in some portion, at some level in that playoff seating. But you gotta win the game.
Gotta win these type of games.
Gotta win. Like
gotta take these types of games, man, for sure.
It's funny. Every year we say, it's wide open. It's wide open. We can make it.
And we never make it.
And we never do. This year is actually wide open.
This year is real, man. So let's see how they regroup. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Salute to Madison Square Sofa team #new. We got Nick Flair in the chat. He says #washed. Louis Heinberg, what's going on? How you feeling? Who else is in here from team #new? Enrique Torres, how you feeling? All right. Salute to everybody there. And then a couple super chats came in. I want to salute Kurt Cobain up in heaven. He says, feeling like a peasant in the Viking era right now. Sad face. It's one of those nights, man.
We're still waiting on those t-shirts.
We're still waiting on the tees, bro.
They're printing up.
Like, we got that catchphrase like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The t-shirt should have been for sale.
That's a fact, man. Gartrell Davis says, why did RJ sit so long tonight? So Gartrell was not feeling that substitution pattern by Tibbs. Michael Parker says, fire Tibbs. Michael Parker coming with the rage tonight. I wouldn't go that far, man. Definitely wouldn't go that far. This is one of those nights, man.
I mean, listen, you guys know when it's on Tibbs, I'm going to put it on Tibbs. Yeah. And I'm not afraid of the Tibbs hive coming at me crazy. But I honestly do not think that in this game there was anything Tibbs could have done with the players that he has that would have just provided a different outcome. I just think they look lethargic at times. I just think they weren't playing defense. Their shots weren't falling. It just, unless Tibbs was out there taking the shots himself, there was really nothing that he could do to make this team look different. They weren't doing what they know how to do. They weren't spacing. They weren't moving the ball. They weren't playing defense. They weren't driving to the rim. They were settling for threes. I mean, there was really nothing that he could do to create a different outcome.
This just wasn't a vibe, man.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Tonight just wasn't our night, man. That's how I see it. That's definitely how I see it. Where else are we on the super chats? Mr. Chuck says it's called The Climb. We keep elevating. This is my iPad domestically watching movie duties. Okay. I didn't really understand that comment, but I appreciate the super chat though. And yeah, listen, it's a tough loss, but you just hope they bounce back, and they've shown that during the season. They lose a couple and they'll rip off 3 straight, 2-3 straight. So let's see how they bounce back there. All right, back to the phones. Let's go to my guy Will from LI in here. Will, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's going on, CP, JF, Ashley? How you guys doing tonight?
Good, bro. How you feeling, bro?
Listen, I consider myself a stand-up guy, and part of being a stand-up guy is admitting when you're wrong. So
okay, all right,
I am formally here to submit my apologies for Julius Randle.
Ooh,
slander
okay.
that I've been giving him for the last
He's
couple of weeks.
coming with hat in hand.
Cash
Okay.
only.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay.
What she
Listen,
said.
Ash, if you want to give me a cash, I'll send you $1. I'll just send $1 as a forgiveness.
The $5 minimum, sir.
Listen, man. After that last game,
You meant
man,
50.
him dropping 44, today dropping 25. I can't fight the wave, man. And now I see Ari and Serge going kumbaya.
Yeah, even Ari had to.
The Ari
fight, bro.
and yeah, Ari and Serge hugs it out. You know it's real.
Facts.
Man.
Even Ari had to repent, man.
They're
Everybody,
virtually
bro.
hugging it out. Listen, man. I still agree that I'm gonna give the CP answer instead of talking about trading Randle. I'm gonna just say I'm willing to do business with Randle. I'm willing to do business, but overall, listen, man. If we didn't have Randle this game, this score would have looked a lot uglier. At the end of the day, I'm just worried about Obi. But with the D-Rose trade, it does look like they have a connection, and Obi's gonna be okay. He's gonna have a point guard to give him the ball, even though today they didn't really do anything, but the whole team wasn't really doing anything. So I'm not gonna really hold up on it.
Yeah.
But overall, if we're going for the playoffs, and again, I still don't know why, because we got a draft that's supposed to be one of the best drafts in the last 10 years. But if we're going to go for it, let's all be together. Let's all be one as Knicks fans. So I'm taking back all the Julius Randle slander.
Yeah.
Big Serge, junior nephew out here doing big things. So you know what? I'm a backyard. I'm going to just leave it on that, man. Yeah.
Wait, Will, hang on 1 second, bro. Hang on 1 second, bro. Do you remember this? Everybody's coming back on the Julius thing, right? And J. Ellis has been getting on me past couple of days about this. But do you remember this? And people in the chat, a little birdie had dropped me a little tidbit the other day. You remember the episode where we did our lineup predictions? And first off, my predicted lineup is the starting lineup right now. So I hit that on the head. But do you remember that J. Ellis's lineup did not even include Julius in the rotation? He had Amari Spellman in the rotation.
Ew.
Let's call it out.
That is definitely true.
That is true.
That is definitely true.
That is
Man,
true.
that was jokes. Y'all play.
I definitely remember that. I made a crazy ass face because that was a crazy take. So listen, you guys are on it. I took my L's, but JLs, you gotta take your L for that one.
Dog, that was a joke, bro. Stop. Yo, CP, let's talk about real stuff.
He's not even on the
talk
team.
about what happened.
Either way, y'all take
I like how CP does it though.
He's not even on the team.
I like how he does. He takes the stuff out of context.
Oh, hold on.
He takes things out of context.
You don't let this man violate you like that.
Yo, CP was like, what about the thing that happened in 3002 when it was a joke?
This was recent. This was 2 months ago. He had Amari Spellman, the Burger King, in the lineup. CP. He's not even on the team. He's not even in the league.
Yo, first of all, it was a joke, CP. First of all, it was a joke, CP. Second of all, you keep trying to change the subject, and that's concerning.
I'm not
keep trying to change the concern. The subject is Julius Randle, and you wanted him traded. Not about who was going to be MVP beforehand. Is you wanted Julius Randle traded by any means necessary.
Also,
you're taking a joke out of context and bringing it back 4 months later in a debate that has nothing to do with that. Like, come on.
Also, I would just like to add the last caller, his apology is not accepted because I don't have any money.
Come on now.
Like, damn, Ellis.
Hey,
like,
really? I'm like,
really? Really?
If everybody is repenting, as I said, the evidence is in the archives, people. Just go back.
It was in the archives.
Just go back.
Evidence against me. I've been riding the Randle, rail since day one. So you can't do nothing against me.
No, you good. You safe, Fast. You safe.
JLS, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because we were like,
no.
We were Ace Boom Coons, and now I gotta look at you crazy. I'm judging.
I like how CP flipped that. That was
touche.
I like how you flipped that. I like how you flipped
that. A little birdie dropped me a DM. He said, "Bro, don't forget this." I said, "You're right. We need to talk about this on Wednesday's show." That's all,
how you flipped that. CP.
I just had to put you on the screen real quick. That's it.
Well saved, CP.
That's it, bro.
Well saved, CP. Deflect. I get you. Deflect. If you can't win, deflect. I got you, bro.
Oh man, JJ from Brooklyn. What's going on, bro? How you feeling, bro?
Yo, what's going on? Yeah, I'm feeling good. 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 kind of depressed. I really wanted to get to that 500 mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what's going on with RJ. And with Tibbs, this is what, the 5th game now in the last 6 where he's got a quick hook or he's out for like the whole second half. Brodie out from midway through the 3rd, so the game was over, like 3 minutes left in the 4th. I mean, I'm not saying RJ is some, superstar type level player. I don't think he's going to be, but I'm a fan of his game. He's one of our key players. So do you think Tibbs is, maybe I'm overthinking it, but do you think Tibbs is maybe he's just not the biggest fan of RJ's game? And if so, I don't want to say this, but who knows? If Tibbs doesn't like him and he's trying to pressure management, Tibbs, he's a win-now type of guy. He's going to say, oh, go get me, a score at the 2 or whatever it may be. I just don't, I don't get it. I really don't get it. He was playing well tonight. Him and Payton too. Not that I'm the biggest fan of him, but when these guys have it, leave them in. Rose him quickly. We're out there shooting 20-foot floaters, bricking all game. That's not going to help playing one-on-one.
Bricking.
And then the thing with Randle and Obi, we all want to see Obi get minutes because it's not like this is an 18-year-old kid where, he's going to be, 23 in a month or so. So I think he's, I know he's not perfect right now, obviously, but as long as Randle is here, because Tibbs is, he's a defensive guy, so I don't think he's going to play too much of that small ball and have no defensive, no rim anchor. Yeah. So what is Obi going to be, a 13-minute player as long as Randle is here? Like, I don't want to say this, but
you drafted the kid 8th to play him 13 minutes a night.
Going to get the minutes.
Yeah, appreciate the call, bro. Appreciate the call, man. You drafted the kid to play him 12 minutes a night now. All right. You could have brought Kurt Thomas out of retirement for that, Jails. For 3 points off the bench and no rebounds. Okay, all right, no problem. That was just a draft. We got IQ, right? Silver lining.
Yeah, we got IQ. That's what matters.
Look, I mean, in Obi's minutes, he was too unselfish. Minus 17 on the night. I just, I just want to see him in attack mode more. I want to see them run some plays for him. And I want to see him more so in attack mode. Get the ball face up, try to draw fouls. 0 free throw attempts.
Yeah, there was one play in particular where it was like a fast break in I think it was the 4th quarter, it was the 3rd or 4th quarter, and he pulled the ball back. He had a wide open lane. I'm just, why did he pull it back?
He has no confidence in his game right now, bro. He has no confidence in his game right now.
You're right.
Yeah. No confidence in his game. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see how it goes with Obi, man. But on the RJ thing, though, Ash, I just think there's a lot of moving parts right now. There's a lot of new faces. Everybody's new. Tibbs is new. I think crunch time, he's still trying to figure it out. He's trying to figure out the proper rotations, the proper combinations that's gonna get him a W. I just think that's what it is.
And also, I mean, RJ does his best when someone like IQ is on the floor and is able to kind of open up that offense a little bit for him and kind of give him the wiggle room that he needs, RJ rather, out there to get the shots up that he wants to, take. So I think it's a combination of a few things. I think if you're able to surround RJ in the future, hopefully with, more shooters, I think he'll flourish. I think right now the offense gets a little stagnant, gets a little tight for him, and it kind of prevents him from going off the way that he wants to. And the times that he does is because the offense looks different. I think spacing is a big part of what makes RJ kind of flourish. And obviously driving it to the rim and things like that is what he's good at, those layups, those one-handers, things like that. But I just think that when you're able to go ahead and surround him with more players that are also able to help that offense kind of just open up, I think he'll be better. I mean, I don't think he played terrible. I think we are seeing a little bit more of a stagnant RJ, a little bit more of an up and down RJ. But I mean, he did have some defensive moves in there. He did have some shots that he was able to get up, a little bit of elusiveness at times I did see. So I just think that we need to surround him with players that are going to bring the best out of him. And we're very up and down with that. We're very inconsistent in that part of the game right now. And hopefully this time next year, we'll be having a different conversation. But right now we're just in a position where our hands are kind of tied and we just have to really work with what we have. And that's not much, but that's all we have. So you're going to see a lot of this. It just is what it is.
Yeah. We just need we need shooters, and we need a point guard that can shoot, and a shoot guard that can shoot more than 1 quarter at a time. Because Reggie Bullock can only make shots for 1 quarter, and that's all.
Bullock, two shot attempts for Bullock, 4 points. Yeah, it's just not going to cut it, man. So I just think, Tibbs just has to figure that out in crunch time. Where is he going to go? How does he balance the lineup with RJ around? How many shooters? Can he go small in some spurts with Julius at the 5 just to give us some more offense? He just has to figure out those right combinations, man. Just has to figure out those right combinations. But it was evident in the fact that you had no RJ, no Payton, despite them playing well in the third, that he went that long with Burks quickly. I believe Bullock got back in down that stretch as well because he was looking for shooting. So we'll see. We'll see how they go on Sunday. Fredo from Brooklyn. Fredo, what's going on?
How you doing, guys? Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to get into Julius Randle real quick because I think something really important happened today.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that there was an article in Bleach Report and it said that Julius Randle wanted to stay with the Knicks. And I think that's kind of going under the radar because this organization really took a hit when we lost Porzingis. I think our perception around the league was kind of muddled by that because it kind of showed that we weren't able to keep a star. And to see somebody of Julius Randle's level, that he's playing like an all-star this year, and to see somebody at that caliber saying, I want to stay with this team, I want to be a part of that team, I think that's going under the radar is like a really big moment for us. I think if he could continue on this pace and prove to the league that he truly is an all-star, that could potentially bring in a lot of talent. And up until this point, I was kind of sold on trading Randle, but after I saw him step up to the plate and be the first player since pretty much Carmelo Anthony to say that I want to take on this challenge.
Turning.
I'm like 100% sold.
Yeah.
That I'm 100% sold that we need to keep this guy. I think
Talk
this is
to
a
me,
big
baby.
moment for us as
Turning.
as an organization, and we need to really hold on to this guy now. So.
All right. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate
Again.
the call.
It's turning.
I appreciate the rhetoric. I
Super chats.
appreciate the words, but I need that cash.
Super chats.
Because cash apologies only.
Facts. 50% coming down here.
This from day one.
Hey.
And I'd like to see all you guys hopping on the Randall Railroad. I appreciate it. All aboard. Welcome.
Facts.
But this train takes money only. So that's what I have to say. But listen, in regards to that, what he said about it flying under the radar, I know a lot of people, were judging us for the KP situation. Now y'all see what we always saw the rest of the NBA. I'm just going to leave that there, okay? Because it's no longer a secret what our issue with KP was. But I definitely feel like calling KP a superstar was a little bit of a stretch. He was definitely at the time, the unicorn. I never bought into that, but that's neither here nor there. But I definitely agree that Randall is going to be one of the pieces that hopefully in the off season or even by the trade deadline has people talking about and telling their agents, hey, what about the Knicks? Or, could I end up in New York? Like, is that a possibility? And I think that's something that we've been longing for a long time, is to have, our name in those conversations with the superstars when they create that list of places that they want to go play in. New York is back on that list, and I think we're heading in that direction. So
Come play with Julius Randle.
Come play with Julius. I mean, listen, he's certainly
come to death row.
He's certainly letting his play do the talking. Definitely making his play do the talking, and obviously with his coach here and Kenny Payne and the culture that Tibbs is building, he wants to be here. The thing with the thing with Julius is, character has never been an issue with him, and work ethic has never been an issue with him at all. So he would certainly be someone that, obviously a person of that prototype you would want to keep. KP was a different story. KP had a reputation for being a diva.
Yep.
The issue with his brother still looms large. And a lot of things happen behind the scenes with him and the Knicks that some may not ever get out. And I think that's just how it ended. It just ended rough for the Knicks. But right now, still 14-16. They're starting to turn heads, starting to change minds. You saw Spike back on front runner take is what I'm calling them now. Not first take, front runner take. They had Spike back on with Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. So they're back on their Knicks bandwagon.
Interesting.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
Front runner
Whatever.
take, not first take, front runner take. and
front runner.
Yeah.
Listen,
we'll
Spike, we gotta have a conversation because I didn't like that smear campaign you went on.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta have a convo. You gotta go.
I got more of an issue with Max.
You gotta go through. No, he's gotta go through some ropes.
Max is the
get
one
back
I'm really
on the
pissed
Knicks
at.
bandwagon.
Max is a faker, man.
Max is the fake one, man.
Yeah,
Max is really the real.
He's a faker.
At least I know Spike is a fan.
Yeah,
that's true. He still got to go through fan initiation again, though, because I didn't like that type of time he was on. But that's okay.
Yes, we'll see how it goes out, man. We'll see how it plays out. You know what Julius's future, what the future holds for Julius. Let's see how it goes. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. A couple more super chats came in. Salute to Alan Berman. He says, salute, bad loss, but we have to expect a few duds throughout the season. Second half was so ugly, you'd think Fizdale was on the sidelines. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah, it was a tough one, man. Tough one. Jeremy W. says, if Quickly goes 1 for 11, that's not a good sign. He's the best shooter on the team, but he's going to have his off games. I agree with that. Big Surge says, yo, I'm on the case. So I think he might be on the line. We'll go to Sergio in a minute. Paul Robinson says, a point guard that can shoot. I think we have one of those #start IQ. All right. So let's see. Is Serge with us tonight? No, he's not on the line. He said he was on the case. I'm not sure what he's investigating. He might be investigating that Amari Spellman fiasco, JLs, if you ask me. But
okay.
I'm not sure, man. Angel from Philly, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, CP? How's everybody doing?
Good, bro. How you doing?
I'll be honest, man. I'm real upset. You know, we should have won this game. But before I get to my point, Ashley, you know, I was one of those people that, was saying trade Randle, so I just got paid, so I'm willing to pay. So I just had to throw that out there. But listen, man, you know, I'm not going to overreact to this game. You know, you can't win every game. We should have won, but I just don't understand how we were giving up so many threes. I mean, it looked like it was a mini Golden State Warriors out there. I mean, it was just making me so upset.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth quarter, when we were down 10, I don't understand why do you wait until 3-4 minutes left in the game to put in R.J. Barrett, and I think he's our second best player. And he had a relatively good game, I thought. So why not keep him in the game and we just see what happens? Now, the way we were giving up threes, I don't think we were going to win. But, you know, I'm just disappointed that we lost the game. I know we're better than that, and it's just on to the next one, you know. I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. Putting RJ back in with like 3 minutes left. Game really wasn't, really wasn't within reach. Didn't really make sense at that point. You know.
That was like an apology put back. Like, my
yeah,
bad.
that was like my bad, bro.
Oops.
That's exactly what that was. So, you know, we'll see how they bounce back, man. Michael from Brooklyn. Michael, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, bro? I just wanted to say that Tibbs is stubborn, and this is the reason why I feel like if Quickly's not doing good in roles, Payton should play. And that's why I like starters and the bench. But he didn't put Payton in, and I thought Tibbs loved Payton, but now he didn't. RJ, same thing. I don't know why he didn't put him in. And I always said this, but Tibbs needs to know the fourth quarter game plan, because I feel like we had all fourth quarter lineups different from every single game. That's what I wanted to say. Also, by the way, when Tibbs is mad, he kind of looks like Charlie Brown, the red face. That's what I wanted to say.
Love the breakdown.
Yeah, Michael.
How old are you?
Yeah, Michael, how old are you, man?
I hung up?
I'm 13, but I'm gonna turn 14 though.
No doubt.
Okay.
Man, salute to you, man. Salute. Make sure you do your homework, man. Don't worry about tips, man. Just make sure you get in the age, bro. Yeah, welcome to call anytime, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
All right.
All right. Young Michael came in, you know what I mean? Laid down some gems.
Exactly.
You know, that's what's up, man.
Tibbs is Charlie Brown.
Tibbs is Charlie Brown. That's the thing.
Every day.
And he's roasting too, right? Salute George.
Exactly. Starting early.
Yeah, man. Salute to Michael, man. 13 and dropping jewels, man. That's what's up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to him. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Let's go down to ATL. Josh, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Hope all is well. Just wanted to quickly call in to just share my feeling on the game. Actually, I'm surprised nobody said it. I think the game was lost simply because of the bench. You can't shoot 6 for 37 from the field. That's 16%. It's the NBA. Like, you know, you're not going to beat anybody no matter who you're playing. But hopefully they shake this off. I mean, we got to wait a long time until Sunday till we watch the team play again. But I think they'll get it back going. I think they got the T-Wolves Sunday, so hopefully we get a dub and, you know, get back on this win streak. Have a great one.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we said that earlier, man. Bench went 7 of 37 tonight. 7 of 37 tonight. So obviously that's not going to get it done. Quickly and Rose, who were the stars of that unit, combined themselves 2 for 22. 2 for 22. 0 for 5 from downtown between the two of them. You know Obi's not going to give you much. Corner boy Kev didn't play relevant minutes. Taj is not, you're not expecting that from Taj. So Rose, Quickly, and Burks gave you a combined 5 for 31.
Yeesh.
And that's just all it is.
That's it, man. That's second unit need to get together.
Yeah. That's just it. Brick City. Yeah. So, it happens. And again, with the Knicks being number one ranked defense in terms of effective field goal percentage and the Magic being dead last, these type of nights happen, man. These type of nights happen.
Yeah, watch them go for like 75 next game. Watch.
Yeah. These nights happen, man. So hopefully they bounce back against a depleted T-Wolves team as well. They lost D'Lo. D'Angelo Russell is out for them. So, and they're the worst team, one of the worst teams in the league. So hopefully they bounce back. Daniel from Jersey, what's going on, bro?
I'm a little upset with Tom Thibodeau. I mean, you pick Obi Toppin as a top 10 pick. You get 12 minutes. I think that's ridiculous. Mitchell Robinson's out. MSG was talking about that small ball lineup. We know that Taj Gibson doesn't give us interior defense. Let the man play. I know that you talked about his confidence being down. He was the Naismith Player of the Year. Yeah. And now he's getting 12 minutes. When we picked Kevin Knox, we gave him so much confidence that he was shooting the ball out of the lights. He wasn't giving for great efficiency, but he was scoring 14 points a game. He's not going to produce if he's not getting on the court. I think it's ridiculous that you pick a top 10 guy, especially a guy who's 22. And I understand that Julius Randle's going off this year, but you got to find some time for Obi Toppin. And I understand that he doesn't shoot well from three, but if you look at the past 3 games, he's actually hit a 3 in each game, and he's gone 42% over the last 3 games. I think he's proven that he can shoot out a little bit, and we got to find some time for him, especially that we have Derrick Rose and we have someone who can move the ball. I understand he looked like a deer in headlights, but that's because he's not getting the confidence. We're giving all that confidence to Julius, which is deserved, but I think Obi Toppin deserves more time, especially with the pick that we put out for him.
Yeah.
So I'm just upset with Tibbs because he's going back to what he's always done. He's playing his veterans, and guys like Obi Toppin are not getting the time that they deserve with what assets we gave them.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I think the only way he's going to get more minutes is him and Julius playing together. And Tibbs is going to have to find those windows and test that out. Hopefully this week when they get back to practice, hopefully we see that more and see if they could gain some chemistry there. But that's the only way it's going to happen because at the soonest sign of trouble, you're going to go back to your A1. You're going back to Julius. Yeah. So he's got to find his window.
I think also, unfortunately for Obi, he really could have benefited from the summer league. Obviously, he didn't get it with everything going on. And now this is kind of a combination of his summer league and rookie season, kind of all meshed in one, and it sucks. Yeah. But Tibbs has to be a little bit more considerate, or I guess, a little bit more empathetic to the situation that, look, this kid didn't really get a traditional offseason. He didn't get the rookie experience that a lot of the guys on this team and other teams had. So you just kind of have to, give him the room to grow and to learn and to make the mistakes. And you can't do that in practice. You can only do so much of that in practice. It's not the same as playing an NBA game. It's not the same pace. He has to understand that the only way to really see his development and to see if this is the kid that you should have drafted drafted, if this is the guy that's going to be able to be part of this franchise in the future, you got to let him play. You got to give him the minutes to kind of grow and to learn and to even, just to be in the mix of things. And him not doing it is hindering his development, because there's no way that you can recreate the movement and the pace and the, aggression and just all the aspects of an NBA game in the offseason, in practices. And it's going to really hurt him as a player and player development. And he's supposed to be NBA ready. And maybe he would have if he had a traditional rookie experience like with the summer league, and he didn't. So Tibbs has to understand that and has to start to adjust accordingly, because the way he's going about it now, Obi's never going to be ready. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think he's afraid of wearing Julius Randle out too, because for it to work, Randle will have to be the 5, and Obi has to be the 4. And against some of these guys like the Hawks, who do we play in the Hawks?
Collins. They had Collins out there. Capella was out there, but they had Collins and Okongwu as well.
Collins, Okongwu. When Obi was out there, he was getting torched by Gallo. Like, some of these matchups are like weird for him at the 4. These stretch forwards, so guys are quicker. And then some of these bigger guys would like wear down Randle after the amount of minutes he plays. So I feel like Tibbs is just afraid to like get torched on a defensive end by the rebounding and by the speed and by the physicality of these big men, especially the way he's playing Randle all these minutes.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Ash, you're right too. He should be lenient with him, but he's trying to win. They're 14-16 right now. And if that's the training wheels, Tibbs ain't going with the training wheels. You got to be ready to roll.
Listen, and if that's the case, that's fine. But if you're trying to win and you can't, go ahead and kind of baby Obi and kind of ease him in and training wheels him in, if you will, then send him to the G League. Give him actual playing time. Give him actual minutes. I mean, if you're not going to go ahead and give him the minutes in the actual, on the actual team because you're trying to go ahead and make a playoff push, totally understandable. Randle's a vet. He's been here before. He knows what he's doing. That's absolutely okay. Send Obi to the G League where he can develop as a player. And as you're watching the film on him, as he's starting to grow, bring him back. But doing it like this, you're not helping him. You're only hurting him. Yeah. And also you're only hurting the team and what their future is going to look like, because if Randle does end up leaving and if you do end up trading him to get another player, you're going to have Obi in a situation in multiple rotations that he cannot perform in because he never had the opportunity to go ahead and get those minutes in. So you have to figure out what you want to do with him. It's no problem, sending your draft pick to the G League. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to give him the opportunity to play. This is not the way to develop him. It's not going to work.
That's a fact, man.
It's a rock and a hard place.
It's a rock and a hard place.
Because G League, like, it's not even like last year's G League, right? Like, you have the COVID protocol stuff, but it's not like you can like send them up, bring them down, and bring them back up like it used to. Like for some of these guys, it's like if you're down, you're down. You're in the bubble. You're locked in, and it's like even if we do send him down, then we have no backup power forward, and that's like a whole nother problem.
Well, I do think that there's a window. I don't know what the exact window is, but I do think even in the bubble scenario, I think there is a window that if you want to go ahead and pull a player out of the G League, you can. Obviously, they would have to go through COVID protocol, and you can't get them right back like for the next game. It would have to be a 2-week, period, or you would have a 1-week period, I think it is in the NBA, and you have to clear multiple COVID tests. So it's not like he's stuck there if you want him. But it is giving him an opportunity to develop. And if you did want to bring him out, obviously you would have to make that decision, prior to, you couldn't do it like the next game. You can go ahead and bring him, but he's not stuck there. It's not a black hole. You can get him back, but figure out what you want to do with him. But what you're doing is not fair.
Get him some reps. Let's hear from Ryan from Albany, man. Ryan, what do you think about this Obi situation, man? What do you think? How do you think Tibbs proceeds with this?
Oh man, it's tough with Obi, man. He, we got Randle. He's playing well, so he's sitting behind. He's sitting behind Randle. I think Obi. I've been watching him. I think he needs to really work on his off the ball movement. I kind of see him. He doesn't. He gets a little frustrated when he's not getting the ball, and I don't think he quite knows when to cut to the basket. He's calling for alley oops when Quickly and Rose have the ball back at half court still. But I think like Ashley was saying, he needs to just. I don't really know, man. It's tough. He's playing behind Randle, and like JL just said, if we bump him down to the center spot, He's going to be tired out on the defensive end trying to battle with some of those guys. So, I think at this point we need to, we don't want to send him to the G League and admit that maybe we made the wrong pick in the draft, but I think that's our only option is just get him some reps,
Yeah.
See, yeah. I don't think sending him to the G League means you made a mistake, though. I just think it means you can't utilize him in your rotations right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, when you get drafted as a premier pick, as a lottery pick, that G League stuff that could kill a kid's psyche. That could kill a kid's. It's a very tenuous situation. It's a very hard call for organizations to make. Every team doesn't do it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's a very hard call. And then on top of that, some coaches see as Tibbs is one of those guys, even though he says he embraces the G League, he also feels like you could get player development from sitting and watching as well. So it's different coaches have different philosophies. I don't know if it's as cut and dry as saying just send him, a top lottery pick like that.
I just think, listen, if this were a regular NBA season, and Obi had the summer league, and he had training camp, a full training camp, the off season, and we were in this situation, I'd say Obi got to play through. He's got to figure it out. He's had enough time to go ahead and kind of get those reps in. You had your preseason games, you had a full preseason. This would be a totally different conversation. But it's not. This is a season unlike any other. And you have a rookie who, yes, on paper was supposed to be NBA ready, but he's not. And not only is he not right now, but then he was hurt. So you have a different situation. You're in the middle of a COVID season. You can't utilize him the way that you want to. You don't plan on utilizing him at all. You're not giving him the minutes. So it's not even like you're giving him the minutes and he's just not really figuring it out. You're not giving him the time. So if you're not going to give him the time because you don't want to mess up your rotation and you're winning with Julius Randle, and that's the kind of train that you are riding, that's fine. But you got to develop him somewhere else. And you can't have him sitting on the bench watching Julius Randle play like it's a 2K video game. Like, you can't do that. He's not going to learn. He's got to get the reps in. This is not 2K. He cannot learn like that. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to be good.
Let's get Ryan's points on Randle tonight, because he called in to talk about Julius. So Ryan, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I basically, so I was with you, CP. Beginning of the year, I was kind of like, listen, we got Obi in. Randle was turning into an asset, after the first 10, 15 games. And, I wanted to see us get him in a trade for, either a wing or obviously a point guard. But now with him playing the way he's playing, I'm still kind of, we need him. I kind of want things to stay the way they are this year. We have a healthy team. We have a healthy culture. We have all of our, we have our trades, assets, and we're all set with our draft picks. But when I take a look at kind of like our long-term situation, we kind of need to get rid of Randle at some point, or Barrett. And so my outlook on it is, in the NBA right now, the teams that are winning, they either have 2 or 3 studs that are getting them at least to the conference finals and in that championship talk. Mm-hmm. And right now with Barrett and Randle, I just don't see those two being the guys that are going to get us there. So I look at it as long-term. We need to either sign Randle and give him the money, but if we do that, we have to take a look at Barrett, who I think we're grooming to be our franchise guy, and who I think is definitely one of the pieces that we'll have for our championship team. And if we have Barrett, I think at some point we're going to need to look to upgrade Randle to, I guess, another level of a star,
I hate it.
So I think when Ari calls and he's talking about trading Randle, I don't think necessarily this year we need to get rid of Randle, but I think at some point we're going to need to upgrade Randle to like a higher level star to be in that Eastern Conference.
I hear that, bro. Appreciate the call, but like, you can't just build a championship team in 3 moves. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a gradual step. And that's the draft picks you bringing in. That's the players that you have now and into the future, and how those players come together. Some people are going to get shipped out, right? They have all these draft picks coming in. Some might not get drafted. Some might get drafted and get traded later. Maybe RJ gets traded down the road. Who knows? We don't know. But
Yeah.
I don't think you can just make that call right now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You can't. Like people take a minute to develop, man. Like that's the thing about the NBA. You just don't know how fast or when it's going to happen. Like Oladipo started developing year 7, then it was like, oh, he's this big superstar before his leg got hurt. Like, so there's guys here is year 2 or 3, people are calling a bust or, can't make it. And you just maybe need to wait. And that's why I even feel like you can't just make that decision on even Randle or Obi right now, because you just don't know.
Wait,
and Randle
see how it plays out.
Yeah, Randle is close to his prime right now. So he can be another level next year. You don't know that.
Yeah. And I also just I hate this conversation about you have to move Randle or you have to move Barrett. You don't have to do anything. I mean, if this was a different type of team, again, we have this conversation often. If this was a different type of team that was making a championship run, if this was a team that, had to win and had to win right now, I say, look, you got to make the moves you got to make because your window's short. Yeah. But it's not short. It's really just beginning to open.
They just started.
It's really just starting. And I mean, trading Barrett, he's 20 years old. Like, are you crazy?
It's crazy.
We're only starting to see glimmers of the type of player that he could be. Julius Randle's been in this league for 6-7 years and is now finally starting to look like the guy that we've always wanted to see. So yes, there may be a time that we have to move somebody, and that somebody more than likely will be Julius Randle, but that moment is not here. And I hate when we have these premature conversations because I feel like it's so problematic and just so detrimental to what we're trying to do in New York. And that is build a culture of winning. That is build a team that finally premier superstars in the NBA want to play for. We're finally building a team that people don't laugh at anymore, that people say, you're going to play the Knicks? That's going to be an easy win. It's not an easy win anymore. Now, when you come to New York and when you have to play the Knicks, you're going to get a fight for the most part. And yes, it's going to be inconsistent and it's not always going to be pretty. And there are going to be games like tonight where we're like, damn, how come we didn't get that win? This team had nothing on us. But the fact of the matter is that we're heading in the right direction. And any move that you make right now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, is going to drastically affect where this team is next season, the season after that, and you cannot make any move quicker than you actually need to make it because every move counts. At this point in the game, every single move counts. Now we're rebuilding for real. So everybody needs to relax and just trust the process and watch it happen.
Lady Knicks Fan TV is on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Throw some fives in the chat right now. Just throw some fives in the chat right now. We could have ended the show just on those bars right there. That was fire. That was fire, man. Nothing else to say, man. I agree wholeheartedly. You can't make any rush moves. Got to let the thing cook and simmer down and simmer a little bit. All right, couple more calls before we wrap up. Let's go down to Florida. Brodie's checking in. Brodie, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. Salute to you, Jay, Ellis, and Ashley, and everyone in the chat. Thanks for having me on the show. I just want to share some thoughts on what you guys were talking about, future moves for the Knicks, and what just transpired in our game against Orlando tonight. So tonight, I think we definitely had some sloppy passing and decision-making, and I think the culprits for that were Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, and Taj Gibson. I saw Bullock make a couple of sloppy passes during the game, like one slipped out of his hands, and just bad decisions and terrible passes from them. I think after the first half, we had some shooting lows, and we really cooled off after the first half. And I think especially the second unit, because the second unit did not shoot well at all. Derrick Rose and Emmanuel quickly.
Yeah.
IQ was 0 for 11, 1 for 11 tonight. Sorry. He had an off night, and so did D-Rose. So our second unit usually gives us that scoring spark. But our second unit was nowhere to be found tonight. I also thought we lacked defensive tenacity and energy. It looked like we were really tired after the first half. And as Sid said early in the season, we need to play quality basketball all 48 minutes, all 4 quarters. Yeah. And I think everything just started to fall apart in the third. And I also think Tibbs' rotation had a very detrimental impact on us during this game. I think as you guys said and another caller said, subbing RJ and Elfrid Payton out in the fourth quarter was a bad decision, in my opinion, because RJ was having a great game, and so was Elfrid Payton. And I think that.
All right, all good, man. All good. Yo, Brodie, let me ask you, man. How old are you, bro? These are some good takes, man. How old are you, man?
I'm 13.
Wow, okay. 13-year-olds. All right, no doubt, man. Appreciate the call, man.
There's no school this week. Kids are off.
There must be no school this week.
Nah, they're off.
Yeah. Sound analysis from Brodie, and thanks for the super chat, man. He dropped some Skrilla tonight, man. So he got his points across. Mm-hmm. So appreciate you, Brodie. Now down in Florida. He's in the chat under BSun07. So Brodie's in here dropping dimes. Michael's in here dropping jewels. So all right, the kids are weighing in, man. Younger generation in here, no doubt.
I love it.
No doubt.
And Naomi Osaka got her first set. Just keeping you guys up. First one goes to her.
That's who Serena's playing?
That's who Serena's playing. First
one. Oh, you didn't tell me that.
You didn't say that. You left that detail out.
Wait, time out. I told you before the show.
You said support the women. You didn't say the matchup.
I said Osaka and Serena in the semifinals.
I missed that part. That's different.
That's a battle. Yeah, no, I gotta watch that after this.
That's one. The first set just went to her. So
that's different.
You just said Serena was playing.
No, I didn't. You guys
said support the women. Serena.
Don't listen to me. I said Serena and Osaka in the semifinals. You guys don't listen.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Okay,
I didn't hear that.
Right, yeah, no, definitely gonna get to that, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up on the squad. We're talking about the Australian Open. Throw your and now people are putting their bets in the chat. Throw your cities in the chat, man. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. Throw your cities in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. And who else? We got a couple super chats in here as well. Salute to everybody who dropped a few. Above the rim says switch Obi to the 4 and let Randle build his confidence. I'm tired of Obi passing the ball to Noel to shoot when he can just take the shot. He's a little too passive, man. He's got to get aggressive with the rock, but I think it'll come. LP says Taj needs to stop shooting threes. Love the show, guys. I only saw Taj only shot 1 from the corner. That's all right.
Let him take it.
Yeah, let him cook, man. He just got here. He just got back. Eric Castro says, super frustrated with Tibbs. How many more threes do Bullock and Burke have to miss before corner boy Kev gets some minutes? Payton and 9God should have played a lot more. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Here's where we're going to go. We're going to go 2 more and then wrap. Let's go to Jay from Florida. Jay, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah, run it up for your boys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Facts.
As always.
Facts.
Run it up for the team. My thing is, we supposed to be in the middle of a rebuild. This is the problem when you got an old school coach like Tibbs, stubborn, don't want to listen to nobody, just want to do his own thing. Alec Burks and Payton and all these cats is journeymen for a reason. You have your nice 20-year-old lottery pick on the bench, Knox. You got your 22-year-old lottery pick on the bench, Obi Toppin. Granted, Obi Toppin is not the brightest NBA player at this point. His IQ, you can tell, is not really that high. But you got to develop him. You got to put trust in these kids. They there for the long haul. Burks and all these cats are journeymen, right? So when I go back to my rebuilding point, right, the draft is in June. We got these 2 lottery picks in June. We got to make a decision on what we're doing this June because we'll be minus 2 more assets. Either we make these mediocre picks or we trade them for something in June,
right? We got to make a decision. It's not going to work out. We got to figure out if we're going to go with a real rebuild, going with kids and blue chip prospects, or we're going to go trade for a star. It got to happen this year. After this year, like I always mention, we're going to have 2 less picks. These teams want a lot of picks for these superstars, right? There's no real freeze until 2023. We got to figure it out. But like I said, Tibbs is a stubborn old man. He want to play his best. He don't want to develop the kids. He don't want to give the kids minutes. It's going to be a downfall. In 5 years, let's see where we at. I don't want to be mediocre San Antonio Spurs or Orlando Magic. I want to be a real team like my man said on the phone. We got to get a real superstar that's a bucket getter. Randle's cool, but he ain't no Paul George, James Harden, and them bucket getters that can get you 2 points if you really need it. He's cool, but he's not it. I'm gone.
All right, Jay. Let's give him some time, man, so he could prove it, man. But last couple of games, he's been on the money. You know, yeah. Randle's been on the money. I just think with Tibbs, man, with the kids, it's like you got to be ready to roll. Day one. You got to be ready today. You got to be ready today. And that, you know, that development is going to come along from the bench. That's how I'm seeing it with Tibbs. Is that he's ready to win. He wants to win right now. And those that are going to contribute to the winning are going to get the playing time. This is why IQ has jumped over Obi. And why his playing time was never going to go anywhere, even with the Rose acquisition, because you need IQ, his offense, his floor general capabilities, you know what I mean? His savviness in drawing fouls. You need that. So that IQ's in the rotation. Obi's going to have to figure it out, man. In the limited minutes that he has, he's going to have to make plays.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to make plays. He might have to wait till an opportunity. Someone might have to go down to, I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to say it like that, but
right.
That's because you want everybody to be healthy, but that's the only way he's really going to get any minutes. And also, Tom has to trust what he's seeing, like I said, because there's a few times when Obi had it going and he took him out. And he's like, let the boy rock. Let the boy rock. He's showing improvement. Let him see what he can do when he's hyped up and making shots. But he has to trust what he sees as well, you know?
True indeed. In the chat, we have Raula checking in from Japan. Okay, so you know where she's going in this tennis matchup, Ash.
Yeah, right. One time for Osaka.
Yeah, that's a fact. So she's in there with the Japanese. We have STG Nick checking in from New Rochelle. Courtney Burke, Sixborough, Long Island. Rodney Sannon checking in from Brooklyn. Frank Matos, West Palm. What's going on? So to Brian Bays in Brick City, New Jersey. Class Initials, Las Vegas. How you feeling? Ash, who you want to shout out in the chat tonight?
First of all, I'm gonna put type the name of the person who you think is gonna win the Australian Open. Give me a Serena, give me a Naomi. I want to know your thoughts. But shout out to everybody giving me the fire emojis for my little mic drop, little monologue that I did. And just shout out to everybody rocking with us. I know it's always hard to kind of come in and keep it positive, you know, after a loss, especially when we should have gotten the win. So I just appreciate everybody who's in here tonight. And don't forget to hit the like button for us, please. And thank you.
Shout out Illa in here checking in from T.Dead, the Hype Bed Style. JL, so you want to shout out, bro?
Man, shout out to Ari. Shout out to Kevin K, Junior Karoma, Mr. Rivera. Shout out to you. I think roll up. Did I see my guy? I think I saw my guy in here earlier. Shout out to Jeffrey Vasquez. Did I see that? Shout out to my boy Rodney Sannon. Did I see my boy in there? Did I see Young Sim in the chat today?
I haven't seen.
I see Young Sim. There you go. Young Sim. I know I saw him. I was waiting. All right. Yeah. Shout out to everybody else who supports the show.
No doubt, man. And salute to Paul P as well. All right, man. Let's wrap it up. The closer in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Boogie. Give us some thoughts on this game, bro.
Yo, shout out to the team, man, the whole wave, everybody repping the orange and blue, man. Shout out to everybody that, you know what I'm saying, that sticks around when the times is tough and never leave us and try to come back, you know what I'm saying? I salute to everybody, man. 17 minutes ago, I was real heated and hot. This is why I was heated and hot. Mm-hmm. The problem is, it's okay for us to lose a game, man. But when we lose a game, man, too many people start talking about trades and sending this person and that person. We won't even talk about Obi going to no G League the last 3 games. So how of a sudden we just lose 1 game and we talk about sending this man to the G League? You don't send a college player of the year to the G League. You don't send a lottery pick to the G League, especially not in their first year. The only people that go to the G League is people that's on their way out the league and the people that don't get picked and is trying to make it to the league. You'll crush that man whole basketball game. You send him to the G League. It's not his fault that Julius right now is doing things that we never thought he would do, you know what I'm saying? So being that Julius is doing things, you know what I'm saying, out of this world, he got to sit there and learn and wait until his time comes, you know what I'm saying? Keep watching, keep studying, and keep staying with a positive attitude. And when the time comes, he got to be ready to play, you know what I'm saying? He tried him at the 5, and he did try to bang with that dude, and he got a block, you know what I'm saying? So he's ready when his time is called, but you just can't give up on somebody like that and say send him to the G League, you know what I'm saying? He just in a wrong situation. That's an office problem for not knowing what Julius was going to become and picking that man at the 8th slot. Yeah. That's an office thing. And sooner or later, we going to work it out. But when we lose a game, man, and we can't just start just wanting to trade people and get rid of people and all that. This is a learning situation for us tonight. Just like any other time when we lost to Miami a week and a half ago. Those were learning situations. Those are building situations, man. Not no give up situation. You know what I'm saying? And we lost this game tonight way in the second half because the second unit didn't even come in and do nothing when we was up by 11. But we can't blame them because they've been giving us all this good time. You know what I'm saying? Since Rose got there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things like that is going to happen, man. But when it happens, you still got to stay together like nothing happened, man. That's the most important thing is sticking together through the toughest time. That's what's going to make a better team. That's what's going to make a better locker room. That's what's going to make a better organization. And that's what's going to make the Knicks fans stay even more loyal to them, you know what I'm saying? And not run out on them like some of these guys that's trying to make their way back, man. So just be patient with everything that's going on. Be patient with our wins and losses. Get patient with our learners and our not learners, you know what I'm saying? Be patient with the ones who ain't getting no playing time, you know what I'm saying? When they do get playing time, they know what to do, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Tom got his own vision of what he want to do, you know what I'm saying? Even though it might not, you might not like what's going on, but it is what it is, and you got to accept it. He still got us to here. Yeah, I know I wanted to get to the 4th spot, but it didn't happen. That's okay. We go back. We rebuild. Ain't no off tomorrow. We going to practice. We working on getting ready for the next game Sunday, man. But stop, you know, trying to, you know what I'm saying, get rid of people and when we take an L, man, that bothers me, man. We don't need nobody right now at all, man. We're going all the way through this whole season with what we got. We ain't getting rid of nobody that's on our team unless it's somebody like Rivers, unless it's somebody like Frank. Everybody else going to stick around, you know what I'm saying? So everybody else, man, just chill and be easy, man. And we see y'all back Sunday, man. Have a great night. And this girl, she beat Serena again, 2-1 in the second set. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the young people. But until it's your time, you can't get in. You know what I'm saying? So blessings, man.
Even throws the tennis analogy in there at the end to wrap it all up. J Boogie, ladies and gentlemen. 5s in the chat. 5-star. He said we can't bail on each other, man. Got to keep it together. We'll see.
I don't think. I mean, I understand what he's saying in terms of the draft picks, and you don't send your draft pick into the league.
NBA, they just don't use it like that in the NBA.
They don't usually do it, and I don't think sending him there would be bailing on him. I think, if anything, it's believing in his development and believing that he can be the player that we want him to be, but also not being selfish it's almost, you know what it is? It's not being selfish in the fact that, you know, right now you can't give him what he needs to grow. So it's almost like a selfless act of love, if you will. You know, you can't do something for someone, but you send them someplace where they can grow and get better. And then when they come back, you're ready to pick up where you left off. So I don't necessarily think it would be a slap in the face. I think if you explain it the way that I explained it to him, that like, look, right now, Randle's the one who's balling. Randle is the captain of this ship. You're going to be the captain of this ship one day, but it's not going to be today. And I can't do what you need. I can't do for you what you need to get to become the captain of the ship here, but you can do it someplace else. Don't think that's a bad thing, especially with where the season is right now, what the season looked like before, the off season. So I think it really just depends. If you want to continue playing him the bare minimum, and let's not act like the G League. I don't know how many games you guys have watched, but they're balling in the G League. Sometimes a little bit better than the NBA games that I've been watching. So I just feel like it just depends. It depends. If you're okay.
The problem is that as JL said, you lose your depth at the 4 too.
You do.
When you trade,
that's another issue.
You literally have nothing. You don't want Kev. Yeah. I mean, Kev's not going to give you much at the 4 either. That's the only issue though.
I guess I'm really just concerned because it doesn't look like Tibbs is budging when it comes to Obi, and I don't think, listen, Obi's a New Yorker. His spirit's not going to be crushed going to the G League. He'll be all right. He's made for this. This is not his first, I think he has it in him to kind of, ignore it and just kind of focus on the end task. So I'm not worried about his confidence. I am worried about his development. And I just feel like Tibbs is not budging. He's not giving him the minutes that he needs to grow. And I don't see that changing, especially as Randle continues to be on this trajectory. He's only getting better. Randle's only getting better. I mean, he'll have games where he's not the best, but he seems to only be getting better. So where does that leave Obi in the grand scheme of things? And that was my concern.
In the grand scheme of things, this conversation is going to be here and present for the next couple of years, man. JL's, what do you think about it before we sign out?
Nah, that's a fact. That's the gift of Randle playing better is Randle is playing better. New York has relevance right now. There's a feel-good feeling with this team, and we just look better as an organization. The bad is, well, if there is any bad, the down part is Obi. What do you do with Obi? Like, he still needs minutes. He still needs opportunities, and he might not get all the opportunities we need this year. It might have to be next year, or we might have to decide down the road how we're going to handle that situation, whether they can play together or what. But it's going to be like this all year, man. It's going to be like this all year. And kind of like Ash said, I know where Ash was going. She just wants him to get reps in. That's really what it is. It's not about punishment. It's not like your 4-year-old going in the corner. She just knows that to get better, you need reps, and that's all it's about. But it's just hard right now. It's just hard to do that right now. I know there's a stigma about putting guys in the G League in general, but he needs reps somehow. So I don't know. It's going to be an ongoing question.
It's going to be ongoing, man. What do you guys think in the chat? Leave us a comment. Well, great show despite the loss. Productive show. JL's, go ahead and sign out, bro.
All right, man. As usual, you can listen to the KOT show on all audio platforms. That is iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, etc., etc. Also, subscribe to the channel at youtube.com/NickTimeShow if you want to hear and watch some of the YouTube shows that we put on. And also, check out the blog, too, at nicktimeshow.com. Check out our writers. We got Fritz, we got Rob, we got Mikey, we got everybody contributing, so definitely check that out. And cop some merch as well. Thanks for people who got the merch as well. That is all. Back to you, CP&F.
Yes, sir. Ashley.
As usual, you guys can follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at Ashley Nicole Moss. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, All In with Ashley Nicole, and just keep a lookout for the things. CP and I are working on something really dope for you. I know I keep saying it, but it is coming. Don't worry. A few you have been tweeting me like, what is this
delays,
thing?
But we coming though. Slight delays, but yeah, we
you guys keep tweeting me. What is this thing you keep talking about? It is happening. Just give us some time. We will let you know very, very soon, and we'll see you guys on Sunday
night. Knicks versus Timberwolves. And so to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Tough night, man. 107-89. Knicks go down in Orlando. No magic for the squad, but Julius came to ball. 25 points, 7 rebounds. Great game by Julius once again. Knicks 14-16 on the campaign. A couple days off, to rest, to practice, and then back at it on Sunday with the Timberwolves. So we got a gap in between then. We'll probably throw a couple of joints up on the channel in between now and then, so keep it locked. KnicksFanTV, of course. Check out KnicksFanTV.com for the latest news and blog posts by our squad as well. And let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss any super chats like I did the last time. what we got. Christopher Blake, appreciate you. He says, we drafted Obi with the intention to trade Randle. No one can convince me otherwise. Randle showed out, and now we are stuck with a situation. Obi was drafted to start. We don't know if he's ready. It's going to be tough, man. Going to be tough. Above the Rim said, stop the Obi slander. Yo-yo fans, get off the wagon. Obi is smart enough to figure it out. Had one great stance on D today in the post. And B-Sun, appreciate the super chat. That was Brodie down in Florida. Salute to all the kids who called in as well. Appreciate all the takes. And from the last show, I had missed a couple of super chats, so just want to say thank you to David Linshu, Messiah Mack, King Deej, Paul Robinson, Stephen Paragallo, Paul Robinson, Larry Israel, Dante Pipersburg, Chuck D, appreciate it. Above the Rim, Michael Parker, One Dre's 98, Ari, Big Surge, Cuisine Kings, K Marco, appreciate all that for super chat. Sometimes you forget, man, so it is what it is. Definitely appreciate everybody for supporting. Let's get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up button one more time for your squad, and we'll see you Sunday, man. Knicks versus Timberwolves. We out.